Shack. Keep it alive through these lines I write. I keep it live cause I thrive. I might just blow your mind tonight. I'm so hyped but it's no hype. From this height it's direct hits on sight. I'm your type, lend me your ears to show you that there's something in me. I'm not giving up, I'm standing right here holding these days hostage. And I'll make this my year. We turning fear into love and the love's in the air. I love doing this cause nothing compares. Nothing can share that same type of feeling when you feeling them flares. They can't catch it, it's havoc, I rip to a tear. Switch the scenario, my stereos, I leave them impaired. Variables start to change and they're all in my range. I just gotta grab it, it's all mathematics. Every step is drastic, I make it fantastic. I'm trying to take your breath away. Asthmatic. This is live through the stereo. Go and let it blow, blow through the stereo. I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo, stereo. This is live through the stereo. Go and let it blow, blow through the stereo. I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo, stereo. Yeah, just nod your head with it, so explicit and vivid. Every image is intricate, intimate. I put my all into it, no scrimmage and no rules. I'm a pro tool, hear my heartbeat, beat into the vocals. I'm so loco, lost my mind, oh no. It's Ponderoso, dope, so no overdose, cause it's dope, yo. Man, this is house grown, mixed with some milestones. So I let the style flow down like the Dow Jones, bringing it with some foul tones, letting the crowd know we getting loud, so it's eardrum rudiments. Yeah, we bring it rude again. Move, little hooligan. Music for tuning in, full time to the 10. I'm on my clock like I told you. I'm doing this.
Hey guys, welcome to the Anti-Media Radio. This your host, Dedrick Young, sitting in for SM Gibson today. We got a lot to talk about, guys. We're going to wrap this year up with the latest topics and all the things that happened that went on this year that we wasn't like happy with or that did not go our way. And I'm sitting in the studio with Eric P. and an activist by the name of Thunderbird from Birmingham that has a lot to say also, that's going to sit in the studio with us. And I'm going to introduce everyone. Thunderbird, introduce yourself.
Happy to be on the show. I am Thunderbird, the activist, and I'm just excited to be on the show today to end the year. To end the year,
yeah.
End on a positive, not on a positive note. We want our viewers to know today is going to be as we reflect in positive.
Yes, we want our listeners to know that this is the end of the year, but we got the latest topics, the greatest news, and I'm also sitting in the studio with the Bitcoin expert, EP, Eric P.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
So we're gonna start off with this extreme discovery today. I'm happy that they did find the Asian airline that crashed or went missing from a storm. I'm happy to see that we was able to find debris and get this not out of the way to say, but I know it's a tragic situation. But I'm like, hey, how much did this happen today? How much has this happened this year? What is really going on?
Yeah, it's no question. They found today the debris bodies. It's unfortunate the discoveries that was made in that part of the region today with AirAsia Flight 8501. But one of the things about it is.
So what's going on? That's why. Look, it has happened too much this year.
It's happened too much. That's the thing. That's one of the things. As we reflect and see, of course, it's a bittersweet moment because on one hand, you have the body, you have the plane, the debris that's been found.
So we can't figure out what happened.
So we can't figure out exactly what happened. You see what I'm saying? You follow what I'm saying? But then on the other hand, what's going on in that region in terms of flights? Or
just
leaving the Middle East, Asia. What's going on with that? I think it's the bigger question.
Well, this the question. Why did we find AirAsia and not Flight 37? Okay, that's the big question.
Exactly.
Right, and I know that we jumping into this today, and we are taking callers today. But with this being like the headlines all over, the mainstream media. We felt like we should cover this.
And I got. Let me tell you something. I got the license to say it. I'm the activist. You the radio show host. We'll leave that up to you. Let me tell you, I got the license to say it. Is our government telling us the truth about what's going on with flights in the Middle East and so forth in that region? Are they telling us the truth?
Well, yeah.
Are they telling us the truth?
Are they telling us the truth about anything else?
Anything else? Yeah, anything else is going on. But I'm an activist. I can say that. I understand everybody. Let me play my role first.
Yeah.
Are we being told the truth about what's going on with the flights? Our brothers and sisters, what's going on in the Middle East, our Asia? We know that also Flight 370, I think was last year. Flight 370, and that was this year. It was this year. Flight 370 this year.
But,
And
what we're going with this segment of the show, we're going to update you guys on all the tragedies that we had involving our law enforcement officers, this year. I think it was too many that I recall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too many. But we are taking callers also, so we're going to give you guys the number in just a second, but you can join in on this conversation at 718-717-8296. That's 718-717-8296. My bad, that's a mix-up, but that's 718-717-8296. Give us a call, join in on the conversation. This is your co-host, Dedrick Young, at the Anti-Media Radio. And just back to it, we haven't had any indictments this year. Any good news for the people that I say, it's all just been hectic.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling there for SM, and I feel like, hey, well, I'm gonna just have to step in his shoes and just say, hey, it is tragic.
It is
tragic. It's tragic. It's hectic. What's going on? What are we gonna do? That's why we got you in the studio today to tell us, Thunderbird, what is it gonna take for this change?
It's tragic.
You feeding us all the bull.
And
You're not telling
take
us the truth.
Let me tell you what it's going to take. It's going to take troops from the ground level like myself working on the front line, willing to sacrifice.
Willing to sacrifice. So you sacrificing every day.
Let me tell you something, bro. Willing to sacrifice work hours, willing to sacrifice everyday life, everyday living. So that's what it's going to take.
But being from the South,
because without being from the South, being from the North, being from the East or the West, because when you sacrifice time, effort, energy, being on the front line, without the troops who are willing to sacrifice that kind of energy, kinetic energy, willing to put in the time, the effort, when the cameras ain't on.
Is that enough? So we haven't gotten anything, nothing has went our way this year. Okay? We got cops killing kids. One cop, ran over a 10-year-old just a couple of days ago. Have we heard anything about that? And we got to support, all our alternative media outlets for spreading all the, and sharing this information. But I just can't get it. It's just so much. Right. And I'm really fed up. And I'm tired. I'm ready for this year to be over with and see can we get a change in 2015.
But
we're gonna go over some topics that Michael Brown, that happened this year. Ezell Brown.
There's no question. You're right. Those things happen. Unfortunately.
SIBO.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Unfortunately, but what I can say is the only thing I can say is this: is that with radio show hosts like yourself, with outlets like this, with activists, and what's going on around the nation, officers who themselves, we don't. I want to be clear from my standpoint, from an activist standpoint, because I take what I do seriously. The intent is for no one who is directly involved with the events that's going on around the nation today to be involved with any kind of malicious involvement or intent with the government or the police. That's my intent today.
Okay.
But at the same time, we got to be on the one side. I want to be clear. We got to be clear. At the same time, we can't take for granted what's happening to innocent brothers and sisters around the country black, white, blue, brown, yellow, around this country. What's taking place? We got to be real with what's going on.
Okay. Well,
We got to be real.
so let's get back to it. Well, and I appreciate you coming in today, Thunderbird. But let's start off with this Ebola scare this year. You know, and now we don't hear about it. It has disappeared. It's in thin air, right? But we should have been afraid.
But let me
Right.
be the first to tell you. Let me.
And I know our listeners wouldn't understand because or not they wouldn't understand, but they're not here in the studio today because we can say, you're African native.
There's no question. Let me tell you.
So,
one
and
thing.
how you feel about that with them saying, hey, well, Ebola, you should be scared. You shouldn't be, what's your input on it?
No, it's no question. Ebola. So, I can only tell you how I see it from my perspective. Ebola is one of the things that we dealt with in 2014. True enough, but what's the real scare? Is it Ebola, or is it that is the government trying to hide from us other things that are at the time Ebola was a very serious issue? It's no question. There's no doubt about it. Anytime you're dealing with health, anytime you're dealing with people, that sort of thing. I want to take those things very serious because you're dealing with travel issues and that sort of thing too. You don't want people. You most certainly don't want that kind of issue or that kind of virus
But
being spread around.
do you feel that it should have been a cause for flights to be shut down?
Well, I mean that part.
Or even attempting to shut cities down again?
Well, that part
They're not giving them the proper.
we could never tell. We could never tell what kind of direct influence shutting down flights would have had on. It's a lot you got to take into consideration when you're dealing with shutting down flights. We talking about commerce, that sort of thing with trading with other countries.
And I don't know, like, I haven't been not reaching out, but going to any of the protests here because I really just found out I just got back in town. So, but I saw some news about a high school banning the I Can't Breathe T-shirts from their tournament.
Well, that in particular, that's why I came. That's what I wanted to talk about today. That issue in particular.
Also, but shouldn't we have the right?
For me, that for me, that touches me on another level because what we have is this has been a year of arbitrary police power.
Mm-hmm.
The year, if we're gonna look back in the year in review, then we got to recognize.
We got to start off with that.
We got to start off with arbitrary police power. So now we got another crop of youth, if you will, the next crop.
Okay.
And the next group, then they coming along, and we're gonna tell them, oh, you know what, this is the year of arbitrary, but we want y'all to keep your mouth shut now.
Keep your mouth shut. You can't speak.
Keep your mouth shut.
Huh?
That's
but we can see our brothers and sisters get shot down in the street.
And so whether you black, white, yellow, blue, brown,
and is it going to stop? Can we carry this on?
can we carry it on?
You think it's going to continue in 2015?
Well, we're going to let Dale wait.
For all you listeners out there, I know we rambling and we going on and on, but hey, haven't we had a lot to go on this year? I'm talking about, I'm fed up. A 10-year-old walking across the street got ran over by a cop. So, hell, how else can we fight back? We can't, speak our mind. We don't, freedom of speech don't exist, So, do we just, lay down or hinder ourselves from
The greatest justice is fighting organized. It's fighting organized with your ground troops. That's the greatest.
And that's
fight.
you.
And that's the great fight because at the end of the day, then what you say is you already know. Like Dr. King, you already said, you know what? At the end of the day, it don't matter. I already know I'm gonna die.
Okay. And so you're a foot soldier ready to do that.
So
I wonder, is everyone else prepared for that?
Without everyone, we don't need necessarily everybody. We don't need necessarily everybody.
Okay.
Only thing we need is dedicated, organized troops willing to walk and talk the talk. That's it.
And I hope this is not too extreme for my listeners. But
It ain't too extreme. It ain't too extreme. The only problem a lot of people have is that when it get to this point, it's not too extreme. It won't be too extreme for the viewers, because we're not advocating for violence. We're advocating for a change of life, a change of living, like Brother E, we were talking earlier. A change of life, change of living, things that we want done on the ground level. These are not.
Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulty. We back, but we're gonna get back on that topic that we were talking about the injustice in the system and the militarization of the police departments in America. Yeah. And we also have a caller calling in right now, and we're gonna take this caller. Caller from 858. What you have to say? Hello? Caller, you there? Welcome to the Anti-Media Radio. Well, I guess that we lost that caller also, but keep calling back, man. We're gonna keep this thing rolling with Thunderbird, but it's gonna have to start. It's gonna have to start somewhere. It's gonna have to stop somewhere. So, and like you said, hey, what are you willing to do, right?
Oh, yeah,
you have to stand up for something.
Okay, you got to excuse me. That's right. A second ago, I was trying to think. You was asking me.
And I know we had these difficulties with the line, but we back.
So the question is, what are we going to do? What could we do? So where does it start? So with us, what we have going on is a lot of ground troops here in our area of the southeastern area. Actually, we go from Birmingham to Atlanta, right? Atlanta, back down Mississippi, back down around. And so we try to make our way around to those areas to make sure we have. If we just touch one soul, if we touch one person, then we feel like in our mind that we've done a good job and done a good deed. But at the end of the day,
and see, I know you fed up because we talked about this earlier before we even started the show. But let's go back to this 10-year-old that was ran over by a cop a patrolman. Let me say, because I'm kind of like, what do you call it, teed off or peed off, however you want to call it, but a child was killed.
Another child killed.
Well,
and this time it's not.
How many is going to take,
How many will it take?
Mm-hmm.
And this time it's not due to a gun. It's not due to. It's due to reckless behavior and not being.
You right.
Not being trained right. Reckless behavior, and we want to see will this officer be held accountable,
at least for manslaughter.
Accountable for that, and there's no excuse for this. So.
Okay.
So when you look at the story, and we won't tell the whole story. We don't have enough time to tell the whole story.
And he did not have his lights on, and that's why I'm teed off.
Yeah,
I'm teed off, guys, because we have another child that was killed, not by a gun from a law enforcement officer, but by his patrol vehicle. Okay?
And so,
do you understand what I'm saying? So when is it going to stop? Okay? Something has to happen. And that's why we brought you in here today, because we have to take it to the street level. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Like, what the ground troops have to say about this? Because there are ground troops, guys. It's not just, me and SM and Nick that's, on the show and show.
Of course. It's not about what you see on the television all the time. It's not about what you see driven mainstream all the time. And that's what I was talking about earlier. To answer your question earlier, when you talked about troops and what will it take next?
Okay.
And so a lot of people say, well, what was 2015 is only 2 days away. So what will it take next? What will it take next? And so what it's going to take, what it will take is people who are willing to. I was looking at the clip last week at the University of UCLA. Was that UCLA? What was that? Berkeley. Cal Berkeley. That's what it was. Cal Berkeley had the students on the street protesting against the cops. So you don't know those students. You talk about the real front line. They were on the front line.
Okay.
They stood on. So it's going to take that kind of dedication, that kind of being able to bear witness to what's going on here in America.
Well, and see, there's some of the ignorance that we have to deal with just even trying to share positive information, But okay, so I'm gonna turn you listeners into this. Okay, road dogging. If I wanted to hear some niggers, I would go to a bar or a street corner. Well, you should listen. Okay? So get off our line, because we're trying to talk to people that's that's feeling the same way, that believe in the same thing, and in this movement. We don't need you. So hey, you wasting your time. But go on, Thunderbird.
No, I got something to say to Road Dogg. I got something to say. For people like Road Dogg, let me tell you something. He probably wouldn't have to go too far. Because where you at, Road Dogg, you probably wouldn't have to step out your front door from the trailer park to go 5 feet to the next bar that's right down the road. So you wouldn't have to go too far, because that kind of activity. But we'll leave.
We'll be the one time. But keep it going.
Yeah, but nevertheless, though, I mean, here.
Look. It's just thrill. It's thrilling that we trying to spread, positive actions and positive stuff. But we're not going to let that take us off this. But look, it's going to take us to start from somewhere.
It's going to take us to start from right where we are, right here.
And not to leave, and we've been missing out on a lot of things, because we got cryptocurrency. We had the Bitcoin Bowl that was extremely awesome, that has really kicked off and is going well for that space and my community, which I love, because I cannot go without talking about cryptocurrency, right, or Bitcoin at the least. But we do have one of the main guys,
Right.
here in town that's the Bitcoin expert that's going to clear us up on a lot of other things later on in the show. But just to get back to all this militarization, and the corruption, even here in town.
Right, exactly.
So,
exactly.
But
exactly. I think what you're talking about here in Birmingham is
and also with the cops, like threatening to take you to jail. If you video on them or if you put anything on YouTube, there's just so much to be. That we're talking about like the last few days. This is another year. Let's try to take it into a new year positive, and hopefully that all this stuff don't continue on.
Well, there's no question that the cops dealing with what's going on here in Birmingham, threatening to take patrons to jail, and these things which aren't warranted at all.
Mm-hmm.
But the cops threatening to do those things is it's really a misunderstanding of what we're all about. We're not advocating. Excuse me, we're not advocating that people go out and actually, we know that there are some good cops. So we're not advocating that people go out and actually have have some kind of problem with the police. That's not. But
we're not also advocating that the police stop working, turn their backs on the mayor, and it turn into a national campaign among law enforcement officers. Yes, a lot of tickets, a lot of arrests drop, right? So
right. Well, in New York City, where the cops have turned their back on the mayor and turned their back on and they're kind of they're going on their own protest, basically. But what they have to understand is that it's really a team. It's a team effort, and they're not the only New York City police officers, as well as any other police officers in any other municipality. They all have to realize that they're not the only ones.
Yeah.
Okay, it's officers all across the United States, all across this region, everywhere.
And not to cut you off, but I have a few questions, right? For all the actions that's been going on in the last couple of weeks locally, with the shutdown of major highways, with the shutting down the Walmarts. So where's that? Why so late? So why, that's the question I have for the ground troops here locally. Why so late? But I know it's still going on, and I know it's not, it may not be right for me to say, like, why so late, or ask that question, why so late, but right. I want to ask, why now? We should have been doing this months ago.
Right, in terms of the highways and roads.
Oh, just being involved.
Right, and just being involved.
But is it the corruption within, locally, that's keeping everyone held back?
Well, anytime you talk about corruption, you talk about the manipulation, subrogation of because anytime it's corruption, the corruption is balanced off of some kind of socialized community, whether it's the rich getting richer.
Yeah, and
whether it's the point. I'm just going to say it real quick. Whether it's the rich getting richer. So you asked me, was it corruption? So my response would be, in this area and in other areas. I mean, corruption starts from the top. You don't have corruption if you don't have a corrupt government. You don't have corruption if you have corrupt institutions, corrupt institutions, corrupt big businesses. This is where corruption starts, because this is the pillar for corruption. This is
and I have to agree. And I want to give callers a chance to call in and join the conversation at 718-717-8296. That's 718-717-8296. To all our listeners who want to join this conversation about sick of being tired. That's the new topic. Okay? Sick of being tired. I wish I had my brother SM here to, like,
SM, I like SM. He's one of my favorite people. He's one of my favorite guys.
He would nip it in the bud.
It's one of my favorite guys.
Because,
and not only that, it's a year in review. And this guy, let me tell you something.
The year in review.
The year in review.
And also, sick and tired of being tired.
Nobody works harder than SM. Nobody works harder than him. And in addition to that, he's been working on various range of topics over the past few years, over these past few months for this year. And nobody deserves this show, the year in review, this show, more than SM. I like SM. You know.
But you can call in and join the conversation. That's 718-717-8296. This is the Anti-Media Radio. Call in and join the conversation. I got Thunderbird, the activist, local activist, sitting in the studio, holding the conversation. But
and until our next caller come in, man, I will say. Some people who post messages, it's beneath. Look, let me tell you something. What you all have done here is created almost like not. You ain't quite there yet, but you all have almost created that dynasty on radio, talking about social issues. Is what I'm talking about. Anybody down in there, anybody not dealing with what's real in America today. Mm-hmm. Because we all dealing with the wealth inequality, we all dealing with the social displacement, indecent housing, disrespectful schools. So we all dealing with all these different issues, and anybody speaking against that is speaking against this radio station and don't deserve.
Yeah, but show. One of the major topics also this week has been the decline in arrests. It like plummeted 66% within the NYP Police Department or the virtual work, that was stopped. So I'm like, well, so you're not going to police now, right? You're not going to protect and serve. Well, hell, we know you've been doing that anyway, because it's officer safety first.
That's clear. That's pretty evident. That's pretty evident.
And you're going to show disrespect to this mayor that's also trying to just keep things peaceful, right?
Right.
Because hell, we seeing it every day. Now that we're covering it.
Exactly.
But we can look back and see how many dead bodies you guys have in your hands, like for the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm. There's no question.
Right? So I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So that's why I called you into the studio and I want to know what's next. Are we going to rally up? I'm not talking about going to kill cops or shoot at anyone.
Of course not.
But hell, we're gonna have to something else gonna have to we're gonna have to do more than what we're doing.
No, of course not. What we saw this past week in terms of the New York City Police Department and its officers and its workers, it's unprecedented. We've never seen anything quite like this. Where a couple thousand officers.
Hold on. A couple thousand officers.
A couple thousand officers turn their backs on the police chief and the city of New York. So we never quite seen anything like that. So now we got the pot calling the kettle black. We have this dynamic where, correct me if I'm wrong now, the police department, the New York City Police Department is actually protesting against being held out to dry, being run over, being held out to dry, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So the thing is this: if the police department themselves is protesting against the police chief, then the patrons and the citizens and the patrons, the citizens, we all have to be fed up. If that's the case, and so we gotta find a way to work. We gotta find a solution.
It may not be no solution.
That's the bottom line.
It may not be done until we
every problem is a solution.
No, you're right.
It's every problem is a solution. So,
but I'm kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired of being fed up. But
it's everything. When you see these guys protest, and basically,
when I also see you.
Yeah, yeah. It's
On the front line.
On the front line.
You know, and I have to say thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know, also what you're doing in the community, also on the you know, the education, you know, the young kids, you know, running like other specialized programs to, you know, educate kids in the community on different, you know,
and so in particular, that's why I came here today. We were talking earlier. We get up, we talk about so many things. Every time I come here, we talk about so many different things.
And it just keeps running.
And it keep running. But the main thing is this. The school district that try to stop the youth earlier from the "I Can't Breathe" T-shirts. You know, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So the school district who stopped that. Those things in particular, from our standpoint, is me and my organization is that's what we speak against. We try to we advocate against those things because one of the things is this, man. I'm gonna tell you, you know, you can't tell the youth one way. Well, we want you all to do great, do this and be able to speak out, speak up, stand out. But on the other hand, we're telling you, you know, don't be involved in social realms, in social stories. Don't be involved. Or be quiet about that. You know, don't keep your mouth closed about that.
Mm-hmm.
We want to disarm and break the back.
And this happened out in California, you know.
This happened out in California. Yeah. Listen, we in the gut bucket South.
Yeah.
This happened out in California. So out in California, San Francisco, up north. East Coast, we want those jurisdictions, we want those superintendents, principals, teachers to know that we are not for shutting down the youth, but for uplifting the youth.
Okay, we're going to take this caller. How you doing, caller? Welcome to the Anti-Media Radio, 530. What you have to say to join this conversation? Hello, are you there, caller? Well, I guess we just lost another one. Try again, and we're going to keep this conversation going.
Of course. We were just talking about the "I Can't Breathe" T-shirts and that whole thing.
Yeah.
So the main thing is, the main focus for us is, you know, the youth, the direction of this country, the educational system in this country. You know, we don't want to be paradoxical or hypocritical in our approach about our youth. So, you know, me personally, I don't believe in, on one hand, we want to uplift you and upright, but on the other hand, let's not talk about that. Let's be quiet about the arbitrary police power. Let's be quiet about the socialism, the indecent housing, discretionary school system, and that sort of thing.
So, see, that's one of the main issues. Because the stuff that happened in Ferguson is not just about Michael Brown. It's not. You know, because poor people being mistreated in Ferguson, been killed.
Yeah, okay? Of course.
You know, just like in Brooklyn, Harlem, LA.
Yeah.
But now it's a big stain. And look, I'm not saying it never was wrong for those. I hate that those two officers got killed.
Yeah, it's no question.
Okay? It's people being killed every day also.
Every day.
By other individuals, by blacks and whites So, yeah, people dying every day. But we talk about the injustice.
The injustice, yeah. It's no question. Innocent brothers and sisters being killed every day.
You know,
hold on one second. Just being hung out to dry, being nameless, no names. Sometimes being defaced, nameless. These are the forgotten ones.
And I know, and just by sitting and having phone conversations with you in the past, I know you're sick and tired of being.
But not even going into I won't even go into the historical context today, because me and SM, our dear friend, SM, we talk several times. We talk all the time about in the historical context.
There's so much to talk about.
That's what we all fail to realize that in the historical context. Then now here it is, 30 or 40 years later, we're still speaking history. Something has to be done. Something has to be,
But see, it's not a black and white thing.
It's not a black and white thing.
So we're gonna go
Because
into the
this is a recurring human thing. This is a human thing. Human comes from the Greek word humando. Humando means burying. Burying. We want to bury all of our presupposed thoughts about what happened in the past. Yeah. We want to bury those issues. We want to bury the issue. We want to bury what we try to speak against is burying the issue of inequality, both wealth inequality and racial inequality.
Yeah.
And so the question is, can we bury those things in 2014?
Okay, so we have another caller. Welcome to the Anti-Media Radio, caller. What you have to join this conversation? Hello? Okay, well, we're going to keep it going. We're trying to add this caller.
We're positive. Hope these things get. But the thing is, I hope I speak for some of our callers coming. We hope that we can erase and debunk these things.
Are you there, caller? Okay, go back. I'm sorry, man. We're trying to take that call in because we had a few calls. Thanks for calling in. I don't know what's going on, but keep trying. We're gonna keep this conversation going, though. What you said?
Yeah. So basically, it's this. We're hoping that we can debunk these things going forward. We want to break the back of these ideas of racial inequality, wealth inequality. We want to debunk those things because that's where some of our biggest differences lie.
Okay. And with you being on the forefront of that, what steps are y'all taking here in the city?
Well, here in the city, some of our organized troops, our ground troops, have began working with the youth.
So it's not just shutting things down. It's going to take more than that, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we don't want to create this. We don't want to create this militarized attitude. We don't want to create this attitude where once again, no matter what the youth is, no matter where they're from, we don't want to create this personality where we're going out advocating for violence, and that's not the intent. Yeah. Some of the videos you see at Cal Berkeley and across the region, some of the videos you see it's uneven. The projection is uneven. So we're not about that. We're about positive change, progressive change, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. And this week, we went down to the Bitcoin Bowl.
Yeah.
You talk about change.
Right. Tell us about that. Yeah. Tell us about the Bitcoin Bowl.
Well, the Bitcoin Bowl was one of the major events this year. It was the first Bitcoin Bowl that was held in St. Petersburg. It was NC State and University of Central Florida in the game. And the turnout was awesome. They had BTMs on site, ESPN, VIPs. Everyone showed up. It was a great atmosphere.
And so, from what I understand, from what we understand about Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency network,
it's a bowl now. You have a bowl game.
You got a bowl game now. That's what I want to talk to you about. That's what I asked you about, because now is a bowl game, and for our viewers, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is basically what we're also doing is structuring and trying to show all of our youth and just everybody in general how to work with each other, how to trade amongst each other inside.
It's all peer-to-peer.
It's all peer-to-peer. And peer-to-peer meaning from brother to brother, from everybody.
Not third parties, man. Decentralization is the key.
And so now it's an actual bowl
game.
But we also,
bowl game. Yeah, sponsoring a bowl game is awesome. And the next thing is mainstream adoption. All right? Mm-hmm. So, and you had so many people there from all different walks of life, didn't know anything about Bitcoin. It was amazing even to just sit there and also carry on conversations with people that was clueless about this emerging protocol. And I know we haven't like went back, you know, and talked about all the other aspects of, you know, Bitcoin, but we have a guest in the studio that was there, that was a participant at the game.
Exactly.
Okay, and he is EP. And what was your experience of the game? What was your intake on it? Like, how did you feel on? How did it feel? Even just experiencing the first Bitcoin Bowl. You know, remember this doesn't exist. You know.
Yeah, some fake money sponsored a bowl game. It's kind of like saying the gold bowl or the silver bowl. Really, I saw something on Reddit today that said that somebody said that Bitcoin is the currency or the back. You know, the Bitcoin is the currency of BitPay, which is the actual sponsor of the bowl. So BitPay put the game on because their back end, yeah, that is their currency. That's basically right. Because BitPay wouldn't exist without Bitcoin. Yeah. And I think the bowl game is just a way to bring awareness. Just say if nobody knew about email, it'd be like email having a bowl game.
Yeah, which is so funny, and people laugh about it like email, but it's we almost speak the same language, you know. Like people didn't believe in email, you know, or did not even know like.
Yeah. I guess I go off on a tangent by saying that because like you know, if people don't know what Bitcoin is, they have no idea what I just said about email having a bowl game, but yeah, Bitcoin it's basically like a new language. I mean, it's that deep.
Well, it's that deep, but it's also effective and is needed with our current system today. And you have to believe in it. If you know a startup can come and be around for 2 years and spend millions on a bowl game, right? I feel that is enough in the community to keep this thing alive. There's no shutting this down. It was like the official stamp to me saying that, hey, we are here and we're not leaving. Yeah. Right? So, and just that experience and seeing that, hey, that this thing is going to be for a couple of more years, that it's going to be a Bitcoin Bowl.
For a couple more years, huh? So this bowl.
Well, you have to say like this was the third most watched bowl game that day, right?
Not the day. That was the highest rated primetime show that evening for any channel.
Yeah, 3 million, right, or more?
Something like that. I don't know. I saw a little article today that said that it was the highest rated show, you know, at that time on.
It is on.
But you got to say that's positive news.
It is positive news. Yeah.
You know? And the experience had to be great. And
it was kind of funny that, you know, most of the people there didn't
even know what Bitcoin.
You know, it might as well have been called Bacon Bowl or something. You know,
yes.
People didn't even know. You know,
until and me seeing people using the BTMs, walking up to them, and purchasing Bitcoins with their credit cards, and thanks to TrueCoin and BitPay for putting this thing together and like really supporting all the other sponsors also.
Yeah, well, I think what a lot of people didn't even realize was there was actually places to buy Bitcoin in there. I mean, I walked around. I walked around the inside. I know there was at least 3 BTMs inside of the stadium. I didn't see where they were actually, but so but the people that did come up on them were able to actually put in. You know, Bitcoin is about $310, $312 a piece right now. But when people hear that, it kind of turns them away because they I don't want to spend $300. But what they don't understand is they can walk up to one of these machines, put $1 in the machine, and get $1 worth of Bitcoin.
Or swipe your credit card. So it's just it was a great experience. And we're gonna take another caller. Welcome to the Anti-Media Radio, caller 805.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Anti-Media Radio.
Yeah, I was calling to see if I could listen to the radio station.
Yes, you can. Keep listening. So, thanks for calling again, Colin. But what you were saying about the Bitcoin mode again?
Well, yeah, where were we?
The experience of observing people using.
Yeah,
using
right.
their credit card.
You can put $1 in, and you can put $1 in the Bitcoin ATM, and get Bitcoin. You know, you don't have to pay $300. And the unique thing about the BTMs that TrueCoin provided was the ability to buy with a credit card, which was, we
Also great.
Yeah.
But you can also tip. You was able to tip the bartenders with Bitcoins, and you was also able to buy from several merchants. Oh yes, they had over 2,000 merchants accepting Bitcoins in the area. You was also able to get your rides with pay your taxi drivers in Bitcoin. What's the St. Petersburg, put a stamp on it and say, hey, we the first crypto city.
Yeah, we had a taxi driver, the week before he had no clue what Bitcoin was,
yeah.
but now, he's saying that he's the Bitcoin taxi driver. I mean, it's just simple.
Is that right? So
you install an app on your phone and you get money. I mean, it's not. I mean, the way I'm talking sounds like I'm trying to sell something, but I mean, it's an idea. It's an idea that's going to keep moving. It's got momentum.
Yes, it has a lot of momentum. I'm talking about banking the unbanked. Me also even being able to go to Argentina next month and experience that is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing this technology and introducing it to people that can really benefit from it is going to be crazy. And putting ATMs down there is going to be also another level. So, and we'll be keeping up with that and posting pictures and taking interviews or whatever. But it just was really awesome, even just that experience, man, and seeing that many people,
seeing that many people
involved in just this thing that doesn't exist.
Oh, it exists.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
it exists. But seeing that many people in one place.
If you can lose them and the magnitude that some people have lost, yeah, it exists for them. Or
it exists.
It used to,
it
was there.
And you talk about all the like-minded people there. Just some of the conversations that I was having. And telling people about the anti-media and knowing about it and saying, hey. That's the site. We like it. Keep it going on. I'm like, hey, we're trying to just share the love and also give people what they need and say, hey, we don't have to just submit to this current system. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're trying to share and say, hey, we are fed up. We don't need the current system. We have our own, and let's build on it.
It's a need for that. It's a demand for it. So the general public needs, and like I said, they need outlets like this to educate and inform.
And the show is winding down, and we probably didn't touch a lot of the topics today that we wanted to. The 2-year-old boy accidentally killed his mom in Walmart. We didn't touch on that. And this is the wrap up of the year. But hell, what you expect is so much to cover also, right? So we just really focus on the things that are really, really questionable.
But for all the victims this year.
And I know you want to tell us all about that.
Yeah.
For all the victims, what you have to say for them. For all the dead victims.
All the victims this year. It's this has been you don't know how this has touched and moved a lot of us. And so for all the victims and the families of the victims and the friends of the family and so forth, people who listen to the show, just know that we're not doing this in vain. We want real change. We want active change. We want people. We want people on the ground level. We want serious people, serious members to get involved and be involved in change. And good positive change. No no killing, no police killing, no good positive change.
And that's what we're going in 2015. That's the message that you're trying to send.
That's the message we're trying to send in 2015, and that's the message we need to push, man. Is because without good,
we're not gonna stop.
We're not gonna stop.
I know you guys are not gonna stop.
We're in the good sense of the word, we bad boys. We ain't gonna stop. we ain't gonna stop.
I love it. I love it.
You know,
I love it. But I want to thank you for coming in today and wrapping this thing up and sharing the information.
It has been a pleasure, man. Being here with you and E, breaking down the year SM.
Not SM missing.
Yeah, we missed him for the show, the year in review 2014. But
sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Can that be the topic? I think that's what we're gonna go into 2015 with. Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Without a doubt.
Or should we just continue talking about the Sony hack?
Oh,
Because that was major at the end of the year.
Yeah, it was major.
And then they had a
year off. The Sony hack.
End of the year off. But we also want to thank the callers that did call in. And we also want to thank the guys that's on the website that's chatting and spreading the word. Keep doing that. We need you guys, communicating and sharing information, even if you disagree or don't like anything that's going on. But we're going to keep it moving, and you guys just keep chatting on. But we're going to keep calling the ground troops also. But we can keep chatting. If you want to call in, buddy. But back to your projects and stuff. And we're going to end the show with that on what is going to take place in February with you guys. What y'all doing with, providing the books and the clothes to the...
Yeah, you make a good point. So,
because we didn't even touch that on the other, positive things that you guys are.
Yeah. So who we are? So who we are? Once again, for our viewers and listeners, is the Apostille Group and the ApostilleGroup1.com. If you allow me to plug that on your show, but what we want, we talk about it all show long, is for the various topics that we talked about throughout this show to be addressed, and we want to address with positive change, but feedback.
And y'all do make various donations around town also, right?
Yeah, we do. When we make donations to people who I'm with, we try to work with people who work with us. So we try to always strive for that sort of progressive change here in this area. But SM knows me very well. You all know me. It's a pleasure to be on the show. It's a pleasure.
Well, we want to thank you for showing up, man. But we want to thank you guys for listening to the Anti-Media Radio. I have a sit-in guest, Thunderbird, local activist. Always a pleasure for him to step in and stir up something when SM is not around. But we also had EP, the crypto expert that's on this channel also, but a great friend. And thank you guys. Call back, and we're going to keep this word going. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. That's
Happy New Year. But should we end it with I Can't Breathe, sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Let's end on the positive note, because in the new 2014 we couldn't breathe. In 2015 we fighting to breathe again. So we gotta speak on the positive note. We fighting to breathe again, baby. 2015. So we end it off on a downer, but we're gonna start the new year on a positive note.
All right. And thank you guys for listening to the Anti-Media Radio. See you Thursday.
I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo.